It's going to be another beautiful day. Lots of blue skies. It's the 14th of November. It's time for another edition of Weber This Week here in the Finger Lakes on fingerlakes1.com. Good morning to you all checking us out here on a good old Monday a.m. And as I warned you before, we had originally scheduled a guest to come in from Del Lago Resort and Casino, a gentleman named Frank Naborski. Frank is the vice president of the slot operation. But I told you there was a caveat. There could be a concern because his equipment, some of the equipment may be arriving this morning, and it's truly arriving. So Frank is not in the studio. We're going to get Frank in the studio and to do my show in January. We got a date for him. I believe it's the 2nd or the 9th of January. And those things happen in this world of talk shows, and I don't blame Frank. He's got to be out there when the 2,000 slot machines start arriving as Del Lago continues to flourish and get, built to the beautiful spectrum. It's going to be fabulous, and from the pictures I've watched on Facebook or seen on Facebook, it's coming together very nicely. And by the way, myself and Jim will be out there this coming Friday, probably in the morning sometime, and we'll be having Jimmy shoot some more video. He'll keep it in his good old system here, and Jeff Babinski will be arriving, expected to come on the show on December the 12th. Jeff will be in the vice president, executive vice president, general manager of Del Lago. He's got a lot on his plate. He'll be in to talk about what he's looking at and what he will tell you. It'll be a couple weeks old, but still it'll show you where the casino is going, and it's going full speed ahead to meet their February 1st opening. Hope you all had a great weekend, everybody. Let's talk about some tidbits in the world of sports. A lot to talk about. Let's talk about Las Vegas odds. I don't bet on football. I used to have a bookie. Yeah, there's such things we have as bookies in the area. I don't really bet that much anymore. Once in a great while, I'll get in the mood to make a wager. But if you were betting the dogs yesterday based on the line, something rarity does happen once in a while in the world of NFL football. There were 12 games played yesterday. If you would have bet the underdogs, you would have won 11 out of 12. Pretty amazing. 11 dogs won yesterday based on the points. The only team that covered was the Washington Redskins. They were given 2.5 points to Minnesota. They won by 6. Other than that, every single dog won, capped off last night by an upset. New England, Tom Brady losing at home to Pete Carroll's good old Seattle Seahawks, 31-24. If you fell asleep, Seattle upsets New England last night to cap off a wild weekend of the NFL. And by the way, I got to tell you, I normally don't watch football games from start to finish. I usually go back and forth. I watch a little bit of a movie, then I go back to the game. But I was intrigued, and I was just so caught up in the Dallas-Pittsburgh game. In Pittsburgh, Roethlisberger, Prescott, the rookie out of Mississippi State. I was glued right there, watched every second of it. What a fantastic football game. Dallas once again pulls it out, led by Prescott and by Elliott out of Ohio State. Once again, Dallas comes through. That's 8 straight W's. If you're trying to remember the trivia and the last time they won 8 in a row, you got to go back to 1977. 1977 was the last time the Cowboys had won 8 in a row. They look like a well-oiled machine. They got a big offensive line. Their defense is pretty darn good. And they're getting a lot of great play from their receivers. And Des Bryant's even playing the role of catching the ball and not arguing with the officials. So look out for the Cowboys. They're 8-1. They look like they're steamrolling. Of course, you never say never. But on the other side of the coin, Jimmy, the Cleveland Browns have a dubious distinction of 0-10. The question is, a rarity in the NFL, can they go 0-16? And, Jim, if you look at the schedule, there's an awful good chance they could make a milestone of going 0-16. Good chance.
Well, the Indians went to the World Series, went to extra innings, won out in Game 7 away from winning. The Cavs won the World Championship, so I guess, Cleveland can't have every sport have a winning team. So.
I know.
But, yeah, poor Browns.
Poor Browns is right. By the way, before we get back talking about the world of sports, welcome to Weber This Week. I must send out kudos to the organizing committees that put together Doyle Marquardt's retirement party at the Club 86 on Friday night. Myself and my buddy Frank Eldridge were in attendance. Over 320 people crammed the Club 86. The Legat family, once again, Lori and Bill did a fabulous job, and their staff. It was really, really sensational. Doyle and his wife Ginny Congratulations. You guys deserve the credit and the embellishment of the love that was in that room. He's done a great job, and it was great to be there, and I wouldn't want to have been anywhere else. So congratulations out to Doyle Marquardt, who now is enjoying his retirement. And boy, law enforcement from all over various counties were there in big numbers. A true tribute to Doyle Marquardt and the outstanding job he has done in his career. So way to go. It was a really nice party. Well, let's talk about the world of SU sports. Of course, Jimmy, being a graduate out of there, I posted on Facebook today. I know you want to give the guy a fair shake, but I got to tell you something. It reminds me of Aunt Jemima with the pancakes and the syrup. Dino Babers, I don't know. I am not an SU football fanatic like Jimmy is. I'm not a great fan of their program. I think it's overemphasized certain times. But you know what, Jim, I don't know about Dino. He's got to stop syruping it in the post-news conference that he does. My God, he gets on the air of the day and he spends 6 minutes praising North Carolina State. He praises their coach. He praises their team. North Carolina State came in the Dome. I get it. Dungy was hurt, but you got to deal with people injured. Happens all over the world of college football. But for him to spend every single loss, he talks about the other team way too much. You got to beat these guys. They came into the Dome 4 losses in a row. They did play a couple of tough teams competitively. But my God, that was a winnable game. Jim pointed that out. I pointed that out. They lose by 15, even though the score really didn't show that much of a gap. I mean, my God, Dino, stop syruping and telling us, the sports fans of the Finger Lakes and the surrounding Central New York area, that the team is improving. I don't know how you can say the team is improving. You're 4-6. Granted, you need to win 2 games in a row now to get to a bowl eligibility. Who do they have coming into the Dome this weekend? Florida State. What's the early line? 20 points, Syracuse underdog. You expect that. They're saying that Dungy may not play this weekend as well. I don't know about you, Jimmy. I know you graduated from that school. I don't know your take on Dino Babers. Too much syrup. I don't like his speeches about where the team and where that program is right now. You may agree or disagree. I think he's got to tell it the way it is. They're not that good right now.
I love him.
He just doesn't say that.
I love Babers.
Oh, do you? God.
Yeah, it's his first year.
Oh,
it's his
God.
first year, taking over, program that's been struggling.
Well,
Marone had some success.
Yeah.
But, yeah, give Babers a little time. He's fine.
Okay.
Look at the offense that they're putting up.
Yep.
I mean, you can't – they're fun to watch. They have a wide receiver.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Amba Atawa,
I love him.
Who's breaking all the school records, passing records. And their defense is young, but they've been improving. I got no problem with Dino Babers. It wasn't. Nobody thought it was going to be 1 year.
All right.
They'll be in a bowl next year, and I wouldn't count them out against Florida State.
Yeah. Well, like Dino said, I just got to the point where I don't know how you could say you're improving when you're 4-6. That's the only issue I have with it. How do you stand in front of a microphone and say that? Even me, who can stand in front of a microphone and say about anything, that would be hard for me to say if I was coaching SU. I don't think I would use that verbiage. We're improving. I don't think so, but that's my opinion. Maybe you SU fans have a different view on it. I know you probably do, but we'll have to wait and see. Like he said in his post-news conference, it's full count. 3-2. You got to swing at it, baby. You got to win both of those games. And, oh, by the way, if they beat Florida State in a shocking upset on Saturday, they got to go to Pittsburgh and play the finale. And Pittsburgh's on an all-time high with their major upset of Clemson in Clemson, 43-42.
One of the best games of the year.
Yep.
That was fun to watch.
All right.
Big East.
Yeah, I got that out of off my chest, thinking about Dino and the syrup. Oh, by the way, Jimmy, a big night tonight for the Waterloo native, Mr. Waterloo native, Mr. Tom Coughlin. He will be inducted into the Ring of Honor for the New York Giants at halftime tonight as the Giants prepare to take on Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's a great honor, obviously, for anyone, let alone a native of Waterloo, New York, and a Syracuse grad, and a couple Super Bowl rings, and glad to see him get his due tonight.
That's right.
On Monday Night Football.
And by the way, speaking of football, let's talk about the Green Bay Packers. Oh, my God, what is wrong with the Pack? The Pack is not back. Oh, my. Their quarterback looks shaky at best. Their defense isn't stopping anybody. They go into Tennessee yesterday, folks, and They were trailing by 19 at half.
That was the most shocking game of the week.
I need to ask you viewers that are checking me out this morning, go into your trivia books and let me know, would you, the last time the Packers in contemporary times was down by 19, anybody, let alone Tennessee. Think about that. Green Bay trailing by 19 at halftime of that Tennessee game. They got blown out, by the way, 45 to 20-something or what. It was an embarrassment loss. So the Packers appear to be just spinning out of control. And I guess, Jimmy, the once proud Green Bay franchise is not playing very good football, and it shows.
It's a fine line
in
the NFL between being terrible and being great. There's not that big of a gap. And you can just look at how Seattle responded against New England. They were down. You were thinking, well, we were wrong about Seattle. Now, last night they looked like Super Bowl champs again. Even San Francisco, who's way down this year, and Arizona, who's up in that division, had to go, to overtime. Or not to overtime, but last-second field goal Arizona needed. And in Cleveland, the winless Cleveland Browns have had opportunities to win games too this year. So it's a fine line. A couple injuries here or there, a couple bad breaks, and next thing you know, you got a losing record and you're out of the playoffs.
And by the way, I got to get Jimmy to give me his opinion on this. Speaking of SU sports, I was thinking about this the other day. Boeheim beats Colgate in basketball by about 30, and he bitches about it in his post-news conference about they didn't play D. The guard
wasn't happy with the press.
It was terrible. The press was terrible. They win by 30, and he's complaining. Now, I got to ask you, Jim, you went to that school, and maybe you have relatives that are much older than you are that went to SU as well. Could you tell me the year that the president of Colgate was brought to Syracuse University? Because they must have signed some sort of a lifetime document that Colgate would be the sacrificial lamb for Syracuse sports. When did that happen? Was that back in the 30s, the 40s?
They're just down the road in Hamilton, so
I know,
close.
But why do you play this team? You never lose to them. I mean, you don't even. It's non-competitive. They blow them out by 25, 35, 40 points in football. They beat them by 30, 40 points in basketball. I've often wondered, I meant to ask you since you're a graduate, why play Colgate? What is it with Colgate?
Well,
I know they're close.
Every team in the country plays, plays
Colgate.
Local schools that they're going to beat. And, Duke, who do they play this weekend? Liberty? I mean, everybody does. And you know what? It's a big game for Colgate. They use it as a recruiting tool for Colgate. It's a financial win for Colgate. And it's just part of college basketball. Syracuse has to play against South Carolina in the Barclays coming up. They got to go at Wisconsin. They have Georgetown in the Dome, UConn. They have UConn in Madison Square Garden, St. John's in the Dome. I mean, that's before their conference schedule starts. Yeah.
I just wondered when they were nominated to be the sacrificial lamb. I just crack up every time I look at
historic rivals. The first team we ever played in a football game, I think, was Colgate.
Wow. Okay. I just crack up. I don't know. It's Colgate, Syracuse. But you're right, Jim. I guess, I'd love to see the day before I died that maybe they would change the way they schedule these games. My God. I don't know. Just I don't know. It's an automatic win. Why even throw the ball up in the air? I mean, come on. Well, that's the way it is. Hey, this is Weber This Week. I got a lot of things to vent this morning. We're going to talk about the election, how I thought the elections went, and also some controversy. Gee, what a shock from the Seneca Falls Town Board. We got that and a whole lot more, plus some other sports items. And we'll run down who's coming on the show, and we'll give credit out to Del Lago for bringing up some nice donations and so forth, and tying up with our friends from Cicino's. We'll come back after we hear from our great sponsors. Cayuga Lake National Bank. Visit Bill Ryan and his team for all of your banking needs. Offices in Union Springs and Aurora, a fine sponsor of this show for over 30 years. DA Liquor on Bridge Street in Seneca Falls. Amy Padula and her team will find the right spirit for you every time. When you stop in, tell Amy the dog sent you. Steve Wadhams and Wadhams Enterprises, your local employer of choice. Proud supporter of Weber This Week and local athletics. Fill out an application at wadhams.com. The Gold Hotel welcomes you to come out and enjoy the revitalization of this historic downtown Seneca Falls landmark. Every Wednesday is Ladies' Night with special price drinks and half-priced appetizers. Learn more at thegouldhotel.com. The Omen Theater on William Street in Lyons. See what's playing this week at omentheater.com. Located off New York State Thruway Exit 41, the McGee Diner has earned their reputation as a popular family restaurant, serving country, fresh, home-cooked meals daily. Stop in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and check out their menu at mcgeediner.com. Del Lago Resort and Casino will feature a luxurious 205-room hotel, several restaurants ranging from casual to fine dining, and a 2,500-capacity entertainment venue called The Vine. The casino will have 2,000 slot machines, 75 table games, and 10 poker tables. Visit www.dellagoresort.com. Seneca Metals is an award-winning company that has earned a reputation of going above and beyond to protect the environment and support their community. As an EPA inspector once said, their operation is head and shoulders above the rest. The Seneca Falls Country Club, awesome 18-hole layout, open to the public, and a 12-month payment plan for members. Check out SenecaFallsCountryClub.com. And the Newark Pilots of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, a minor league team with a major league ballpark. Season ticket packages available at NewarkPilots.com. And the Wilson Press in Seneca Falls. My good pal Rich Rickey and his team can handle all of your printing and mailing needs. Visit them online at wpress.com. Rich Rickey and Wilson Press, a fine sponsor of Weber This Week. Welcome back, everybody. It's a Dog in the Kennel here on a Weber This Week show on a Monday morning. Blue skies, low 50s today. Going to be nice most of the week.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, Jimmy's got his golf clubs in the car, ready to rock and roll. Hey, by the way, my buddy Senator Bob Heisen, Mr. Trump fan, he used to pick on me, and I lost some coin to him, by the way. He made a prediction a year ago that the Trump man would be president. I almost fell off
it's amazing
my chair.
That you lost that bet.
I cannot believe it. I'm still stunned, and he wouldn't come to the apartment to pick up the cash, so I had to drive out and put it in his mailbox. I'm one of these guys that when I owe people money, I like to pay off quickly so I can move on in my life. But I got to tell you, folks, was I stunned? Absolutely. Was I shocked? Absolutely. Was I amazed? Absolutely. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And Danny Martin, to his credit, because I play cards with Danny every 2 weeks at the Berkey Sports Complex in town. And Danny, I did make one smart move. I had a little wager with Danny, and I convinced him a couple of weeks ago, Jimmy, that Trump was going to go down to Hillary. Mm-hmm. And he had a $10 bet with me, and he was so nervous about him losing, I said, I'll let you buy out of the bet by paying me $5.
Oh,
so he threw $5.
Yep.
He threw $5 over to me. Thank God Danny did that, because I would have lost 10 to him. I was shocked and I was dismayed, and I still am amazed. And but the country has spoken. And it's a Donald Trump presidency with a Republican House, a Republican Senate. So you know something's going to get done. A lot of things are going to get done, whether America likes it or not. That's another thing. But one thing's for sure, Jim, things will get done with a House, a Senate, and the presidency, all the same party.
And a Supreme Court.
And a Supreme Court
appointment.
Yeah, somebody's going to get put out, and I think they got to get somebody on there.
I think that Trump is in,
Yep.
I don't know. Yep. I have a feeling that Trump is not going to legislate on the typical moral issues and societal issues that the right-wing Republicans tend to harp on. Whether that's whether that's abortion, LGBT issues. I just think that he's going to avoid that stuff. I think he's going to be a moderate Republican.
Time will tell.
And but and this is now that he's president, we got to start looking at it. And the country has come together pretty good for something like this. I mean, this was shocking, but
there's still protests every night, though.
Yeah, but
it's okay to protest.
It is okay to protest, but the election was held, and millions of people voted, and it's over. So what are you protesting? They're going to reverse it? That's not how it works. Even President Obama welcomed it into the White House.
I know.
It's done. you'll have another chance in 4 years
Yep.
if you don't like the type of job he does.
Exactly. By the way, I talked about my picks not picking Catco, or is it Catco? Mm-hmm. Yeah, him. He got in. Reed got in. The old long-termers got in. I also obviously picked Hillary. She didn't get in. I did, however, get right on the town board of Seneca Falls, a very controversial board. A lot of things happening with the board, obviously. Nothing against Annette Lutz and Mary Sartori. I went with the two Republicans, and they both got in, and they will be taking over their respective spots. I must say, without any harm to Annette Lutz and to Mary Sartori, I think what happened most recently at the budget workshop a few days ago, that was chronicled by Josh Durso of this network, of fingerlakes1.com, I totally am of the opinion that it was not the place to be, and it was not the thing to do during a budget workshop. A, it was a budget workshop. It was not a regular meeting. B, Pat Morrell, the attorney for the town, was not present. And all of a sudden, out of clear blue sky, Annette Lutz brings up Local Law 3. And before she says Local Law 3, her sidekick in crime, Mary Sartori, seconds it. And, of course, Mr. Third Vote, Dave DeLelis, jumps on. And now it's 3-2. And after a lot of skirmishes, a lot of arguments, a lot of language that could not be presented by the Josh Durso article of fingerlakes1.com, and I might add newspaper.
Too bad we didn't video that. We usually video them.
Unbelievable. It was out of control from what I understand.
It's supposed to be a budget hearing.
It's a workshop.
Yeah.
It's a budget workshop, and to me, that was grandstanding. With all due respect to Annette and Mary, I think it was ill-timed. It should never have happened. It was not the place to bring it up. You have plenty of other opportunities before you leave office during a regular meeting to bring up that, and you're definitely going to get 3 votes because it's you, Annette, and it's Mary, and it's always DeLelis.
Another thing I don't like about that, and this doesn't have anything to do with how I stand on that particular issue.
Right.
But we just held an election, and the voters decided.
Bingo.
It was a close margin,
yes,
but the voters kind of decided. It wasn't a mandate.
I agree.
But everybody went to the poll, and most people were voting on that issue when they were choosing their candidates.
I agree.
And so to try to push legislation through, those two were appointed too, not elected.
Exactly.
It kind of is a slap in the face to everybody in Seneca Falls who voted. Now, everybody who feels strongly with Annette and Mary are going to say, who cares? We're doing what's right for our town. Yeah. But
the voters spoke.
It's a democracy, and we had an election. And
I think it was
much in the way with Trump. Everybody in Seneca Falls who disagrees with, or who agrees with Mary and Annette, need to just accept the results of the election, and they'll have another chance to vote.
I mean, there's a time, and I was taught when I was growing up, there's a time and place for everything. That was not the time nor the place to bring it up. And you knew as soon as Annette brought it up that she was going to get 3 votes because Mary was going to second it. Yeah. And Dave, I'm a third vote. DeLelis is going to vote the third. That's the way it's been.
Why do we have to have political games at the local level?
I agree. So it's kind of shameful, and to me it was grandstanding, and that's the way I feel about it. And I think the voters did speak. They are bringing in Rizika, and they're bringing in Lou Ferrara, and of course that complexion will change as of January. So that's my view, and that's just the way I feel about it. I don't think that was the time nor place to have that activity. By the way, let's switch subjects. Del Lago, a great partner, obviously, in the Finger Lakes, helping out a lot of communities. And I was thankful enough to be out there with Josh Durso, my colleague here at Finger Lakes One, and Del Lago announcing a $100,000 donation to Finger Lakes Workforce Investment Board. And that was fantastic to be a part of that. They're trying to help out the women to get involved in the trades along with minorities. And some statistics which I did not know, in the Finger Lakes region, women make up only 12% of the construction trade workforce as compared to 17% in New York State. And in the Finger Lakes region, only 9% of the workforce in construction trades is made up of minorities compared to 27.5% of the entire state. So congratulations to Jeff Babinski and his generosity, along with Del Lago's management and ownership team, for donating $100,000 for that Workforce Investment Board. And kudos goes out to our friend Sal Franzone, who's been a sponsor of this show, Cicino's, Geneva, Waterloo, and soon to be in Tyre, New York, as they are going to open up a little Cicino's operation in the food court at the beautiful Del Lago Resort and Casino. That announcement came out this morning from Jeff Babinski as well. They'll be doing their salads and their pizza and their wings and their calzones.
I'm happy for Sal. I mean, the restaurant business is difficult, and he has it down to a science. Yep. He really has a great business in Waterloo and Geneva, and it's going to be a no-brainer out at Del Lago.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to kill it.
And he's going to deliver to your room as soon as the hotel opens. It's even nicer. So, I plan on a snowy night, maybe, if I get enough points to take a room out there, I might even order a slice of pizza at midnight. Kind of nice. So congratulations to Sal Franzone and his entire team for being a part of Del Lago. That announcement came out officially yesterday from Del Lago's marketing group. So a lot of things happening, and it's great. Hey, by the way, let me remind our viewers, and we're going to talk about high school basketball as we're ready to launch yet another season here on FingerLakes1.com a week from this Saturday night. Our upcoming guest, our district attorney, we haven't had him in over a year and a half. Barry Porsche will be in the house next Monday morning, the 21st, the district attorney of Seneca County. What's happening? A lot of important trials, a lot of decisions have been made. What's Barry's take on what's going on? That'll be on the 21st. On the 28th, Gary Schlegel, speaking of good guys, the owner of McGee Diner, will be joining us. He'll certainly be pumped up for the opening of Del Lago. Gary Schlegel, the owner of McGee Diner, will be on the couch with the Weber Show on the 28th. Then on December 5th, he's back every year. Our buddy Jeff Rook will be in the house talking about his wonderful life run. Hard to believe.
Yeah,
that's
close.
Coming up.
It's close. December 14th. Is that the date? What's the date this year? I think it's the 14th.
I believe so.
It's coming up.
Yeah. Then on the 12th, Jeff Babinski, Executive Vice President, General Manager of Del Lago, will be in to discuss the video that we take this coming Friday out there and to give us an update of where he stands. A nice article, by the way, in the Finger Lakes Times entitled The Art of the Deal, talking about the dealer schools that are going on as we speak. Seems like that's working out well. Then on the 19th, we're going to finish the year off with Madison Hillmeyer, young phenom who goes to Hartford College. Madison Hillmeyer will be on the couch on the 19th of December. And, of course, the 26th, the day after Santa Claus comes, we will not be having the show. And we got by the way, January is totally booked out as well. So, again, I remind you, if you'd like to come on the Weber Show, the criteria is pretty simple. Just get a hold of myself or Jimmy. Email us, tell us your topic, how you would like to discuss it, what you want to talk about, and we'll set up a date with you. Once again, January is totally booked. We're now taking February bookings for the Weber Show. Again, you may think it's non-essential or non-important to you and your friends, but we want to have you come in and tell us and our viewership of what you want to talk about. It may be very important to what you think, and we're not here to determine what's important, what's not important. If you call me and you keep it clean in the discussion, we'll have you on the show. It's that simple. We would like you to not be worried. I get people all the time go up to me and say, how do you get on your show? Just ask us, and we'll schedule a date. It's pretty simple. It's not rocket science. It's very easy. If you want to come on this program, just ask myself. If you get a hold of Jimmy, Jimmy will send me an email. Hey, this person representing this idea wants to come on and do your show. I go in my schedule and calendar, which, by the way, I have it. I update it every day or every other day, and we'll get you on the show. So please feel free. Don't feel hampered that we aren't going to accept you because your material may not be what we're interested in. We're open for everything. This is the Weber This Week show, and that's why I want to emphasize with everybody, it's pretty simple to get on this program. And we won't hurt your feelings, and we won't embarrass you. We'll have fun with you. And as I tell people that get nervous to come in here to do a show with cameras glaring at you, it's like me being in your living room with a cup of coffee or a Coors Light.
That's scary.
Yeah. Me being in their living room. Yeah, how about me being in their living room? We used to do that way back in the WSFW day, Jim. We used to take Greg Cotter used to surprise people.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Take the show on the road?
Yeah, we did. Well, we would set up with a husband.
Right.
But we had fun with that because we had people that had 70th birthdays coming or 60th.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they used to listen to my show. And we would go there and sneak attack in the morning with the equipment, and Greg Cotter would have it all set up. And I'd be in the kitchen with the family, and down comes the bride. And somehow we would make sure the bride came down with a nightgown on, which was fitting, and I would be there, and we would start our show off broadcasting live from her kitchen. We did that a lot during the years. That was fun. I don't know if it was fun, but it was fun for us on WSFW Radio. Those were the good old days, and we're still having fun here at FingerLakes1.com. Jimmy, speak about high school basketball a week from Saturday. You launch up launch another outstanding season. A lot of great games I saw on the schedule.
Yeah, I can't believe it's about to start. We're still looking for a couple more sponsors. If you're interested, call us at 315-712-0104 or email us at contact@fingerlakes1.com. Sponsorship packages start at $400 for a 30-game season. So it's one of the best deals around, and you're reaching local high school.
$12 a game or something like that.
Yeah, you're reaching local high school students and their families across multiple communities. So it's a great product from that perspective. But yeah, we have 30 games on schedule, not counting postseason. It all kicks off at New York Chiropractic College on November 26th, a week from Saturday, with a quadruple header. The nightcap of that one, Minders Clyde's going to be a really good game. But we'll be live streaming all day and into the night on next Saturday, the 26th. And then we're going to announce the full schedule shortly. We're going to bring the Upstate Hoops podcast back next Sunday night, I believe. Will be the first podcast, and nobody covers local high school basketball like Finger Lakes One. We're ready to roll again.
I know. I'm looking forward to checking out some of the games. Should be a lot of fun. Well, we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule, and we hope that you all have a great week, everybody. Again, next week, Monday, will be Barry Porsche, District Attorney, will be on the Weber Show, so hopefully you'll join us for that show. So, speaking from my buddy Jim Sonacropi, the owner of FingerLakes1.com, this is a dog bidding you a farewell. Enjoy your week, everybody. Take care.